As I've mentioned many times before, time is our most precious resource. And for me, being a mom, a business owner, happily married, having to manage a big ass dog, and all the things that come with life, sometimes it's really hard to maintain the day in and day out routines and habits and things that are accumulating in our everyday life that sometimes happen over and over again, or are one-offs, or just certain seasons in our life. One of the biggest tips that I can give you, especially if you notice that you are having things pile up and not getting done, or your space is getting clogged up, because when we have a lot of physical chaos, we end up having a lot of mental chaos. Our eyes will literally tell our brain that things are chaotic based on how much stuff we have and how much things that come across that we may need to process and take action on, or to save and have as resources and references later. All of these things that come into our life and in our business. And so one of the biggest tips that I have done is creating spaces that are designated for certain things. And that looks like having an inbox for physical things, digital things, and different things that are going to be coming across your life, your desk, or your digital inboxes, all of these things, right? We constantly have information and physical stuff coming at us all the time. And it's really hard if you don't have the right ways to put those things where they need to go and be able to have a process to get those things taken care of. When you have inboxes for things, you're able to store the things as they're coming into your life, and then be able to have a time that you schedule to process that stuff. So as you know, we all have things physically and digitally that are clogging up our space or clogging up our mental capacity. And it almost feels like it's never ending. Even if you get through and process and take action and do the things that you need to do on some of the stuff, it's a never ending cycle of more things that are constantly coming your way. Because in today's fast-paced world, it can almost feel overwhelming to keep up with it all. Say hi to Marley in the background. He's hanging out with us today. And here's the deal, with all of these things, there's no way I'm gonna be able to remember it all. There's gonna be things that are gonna fall through the cracks, and if I don't have a system or a process to get these things organized, and even when I can't do something about them, but I know the place they need to go for now that I can get to later, I am able to create those inboxes, and it's really helped keep my space organized, my mind organized, and then be able to take action on them when I have the time. So tell me if this sounds like you. You have Post-its everywhere. You have multiple stacks of notebooks because you just write things down in all kinds of which way places. Sometimes you drop your keys and your purse or your bag at the entrance of your home. Maybe it's at the entrance of the garage of your home. Maybe it's at the bedside of your nightstand, and you constantly are moving things all over the place, and you can't find your keys or your purse or your phone when it's time to leave the house and you are already 15 minutes late. Right? So that is a reason why you want to have one spot for the things that you're using all the time, and then schedule regular time to process those items. And when you're going through to process these items, there are a few things you're going to do when you're going through that process. One, you're either going to trash the information or the physical thing because you no longer need it. You're going to set a task for you to take action on it because it needs some other step in order for it to be completed. Or you're going to store that information, whether it's physical or digital, or that item, in a place where you can go back and get it as a resource or a reference when you need it. So some examples of inboxes that I've created, and you can create too to help you manage all the things, are your email. We all have an email inbox, right? So it comes through the inbox of your email, and then you will filter it out through things you might need to take action on. Maybe that means you're flagging the email. Maybe that means you're creating rules in your inbox to put emails into certain folders or files. Maybe you're just trashing it. Maybe you are saving it in a folder or a file in order for you to reference it later. Maybe you're downloading the documents that are on the email, the attachments, so that you can file it into a folder. This is a digital example. You are probably still getting physical mail, whether it's in your home or at your business, in your office. And so I have an inbox where when mail comes in at home and also in my office, and it gets put in there, and when I have time, I will go in and I will actually process the mail that comes in. I will either trash it, put it aside and set a task to take action on it, and or I will put it away for reference if it's something that I might need in the future. all of my ideas and all of my notes for when I'm studying or things come across and I have this great idea, I put in one place. I currently use Notion for all of this, and I have an agency owner template that will help you get a master to-do list, that will help you with managing your money, that will help you with content creation, that will help you be able to capture these notes and all of these things. So if you're interested, check the link in the description box. But Notion has been the place that I have used because I always have my phone with me on hand, and I can quickly, while driving, while at the gym, while walking the dog, while I'm waking up from a sweat and nightmares in the middle of the night, I can literally grab my phone, put the ideas and the thoughts that I have in my Notion, and I can reference it later and go back to sleep because now it's out of my mind and into my Notion. My to-do list has one spot that I put it in. That's gonna be a Notion as well. I have an inbox on my desktop for all incoming documents that I will then process or file later. Also, we need to have physical inboxes for documents that need action to be taken on, whether that's, again, trashing them because we no longer need them, keeping them for reference, and or taking action on them. So I have an inbox on my desk where I am constantly using to put documents into and working through that inbox regularly. Another inbox I have is where I put all my appointments or time-specific things that I need to do at those times, which is going to be my digital calendar. That is the inbox for where I need to schedule things that have to happen on a certain time or a certain date, and they're time-specific. And then there are many, many different inboxes and places that you can have in your physical home. But for us, we have at the entrance of our garage, which is really where we come in most of the time into our home, in and out. And it has a small mudroom area. And so that is where we drop our keys, our bags, any kind of documentation like our mail or things that might be coming into the door so it doesn't start spreading around the entire home. And then we're not gonna be able to find the things or process them when we need to. That is where one of our inboxes are. My kids' homework goes there, the lunch boxes, right? All the different things that we may be carrying. The other inbox I have is things that need to go upstairs. I actually have a couple boxes or baskets, you could say, on our staircase that I will randomly throughout the day walk around the home, grab things that need to go upstairs, put them in those baskets, and everybody knows they do not go up the stairs empty-handed, even though 90% of the time it's just me carrying these things up there, like, let's be real. But it helps me then put things back where they belong, and it's kind of like the inbox of where all the things go that need to go upstairs. And that allows that constant flow of things to be able to be going where they need to go, and I can process that stuff when they're in the basket. The other inbox I have is those baskets usually tend up going into my laundry room, which is right at the top of our staircase. It's a huge room, super lucky to have that room. It's probably one of the reasons we bought this house. And I will kind of dump a lot of stuff into the laundry room, and that is my process station of, does it need to go in the kids' room? Is it laundry that needs to be cleaned? Is it stuff that needs to be trashed? Are there things that need to be donated? Maybe there's things that we no longer use, things like that that we can then put in their rightful place, and I can process at that time. That way, it's not just stuff all over our home or all over our physical space that now I don't know what to do with or feel super overwhelming. When I'm downstairs and I just wanna watch TV and binge watch Netflix and there's crap everywhere, I will quickly take a moment and grab all that crap that needs to go upstairs, put it in those baskets, and I can relax because I know when I go upstairs, I'm gonna take that up there, I'm gonna process it in the laundry room when I get there. And this is just an example that works for me and our family. But it's an example to help you see how when you don't have the time and things are constantly coming at you from every which way direction, physically and digitally, you've gotta have a way to have these inboxes and create these spaces that you'll be able to put the things in there and then work those things as you can. Once you've established these certain inboxes that you see, these things are coming into constantly, the next part is to really schedule time and or add the habit to process what is in that area, what is in that inbox. So I have a specific time every month that I go through and do a digital detox. I will go through my inbox and my emails. I will go through my digital desktop folders and files, whether it's on Google Drive or it's on my downloads or just different examples as that goes. It also includes looking through my phone, getting rid of photos that I don't use anymore, cleaning up any apps that I'm not using, things like that. And I will literally process a lot of the digital things so that I can clean my surface off, stay organized, But when I see that my desktop is getting a little bit full, or I see that I have a ton of screenshots on my phone that I am never gonna use again, I know that once a month I will be going through and processing that stuff. Now, I have that on my calendar, but there are also times that I have designated that if I am in this situation, I will be using that time to do some digital detoxing. One of those times is when I'm on an airplane. We usually don't have Wi-Fi, sometimes you do, and yes, I'll still download some Netflix shows to watch on the plane. But it's a great time for me to go through photos, to go through my computer when I don't have Wi-Fi and be able to get rid of some stuff. Sometimes the Wi-Fi goes down in the office and we are stuck and there's nothing we can do. It's a wonderful time for you to do some digital detoxing as long as you don't need the internet to access it. But you can clean off your desktop, you can take a look at what's going on. It's a great time also when you're kind of stuck to clean up your physical space in your office. Make sure your inbox is not overwhelmingly full, and what can you process there. If it's something that I come across that's going to take me just a minute or two to complete, I will try to complete it then and there. If it's something that takes multiple steps or is going to take me a little bit longer to complete, I will keep it in the inbox and I will use that to then schedule when I've got open time to get that done. So, think about when are the best times that you are going to be able to process the information or the physical things that are coming into your inboxes. But if you don't designate some inboxes where things are getting cluttered or things are falling into that you can't seem to get a grip on, you won't be able to even do this next step. So, one place for notes, one place for emails and inboxes, one place where you have a drop zone for all your things, one place for your physical documents. Designate what those things are, and just like going to the gym, it is going to take some time to get into the consistent habit. But without you designating these zones and designating these inboxes, you're never going to get started. So this is definitely the first step for you to manage all the things that are coming at you on a day-to-day basis, and for you to be a much more organized and much more productive person, because you have the way these things are inflowing into your life, they will be organized, and then you'll be able to schedule the time for you to actually process that information or those physical items. So let me know in the comments which one of these inboxes you think by creating will be one of the best things that will help you with your time, your mental capacity, not feeling like so much in chaos all the time. What are you going to work on first? And if you're someone who's done this before, also let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for ideas and I'd love to get some feedback on some things that are working for you that if I can implement in my life, I would really love to know. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I also hope that it got you thinking about what areas in your life and in your business you can start creating zones for all the things that are coming at you. Make sure to check out next week's video and to subscribe, because we're gonna be talking about how you can have certain routines and habits that are really going to make you very productive, save a ton of time in your life, and make sure that you get the results that you are focused on getting.